UC system sets record with over 100,000 California freshmen admitted for fall 2025. Imagine this. More California students than ever before are being welcomed into the University of California system. But here's where it gets controversial. While the overall numbers are soaring, the most prestigious campuses are actually admitting fewer in-state students. Let's dive into the details and explore what this means for the future of higher education in California. The University of California has just set a new record by admitting over 100,000 California first-year students for the fall of 2025. This milestone, announced by the UC Office of the President, marks a 7.4% increase from the previous year's 93,990 admissions. The admission rate for California students has climbed to 77%, up from 70% in 2024. But what's driving this surge? And why are some of the most competitive campuses seeing a different trend? UC President Michael V. Drake attributes the growth to the recognition of the value of a UC degree. We continue to experience significant growth, a clear indication that Californians recognize the value of a UC degree, Drake stated. 4 of the UC system's 9 undergraduate campuses, Merced, Riverside, Davis, and Santa Cruz, are the main contributors to this increase. UC Merced, in particular, saw a staggering 71.9% surge in admissions of in-state students. This surge follows a 45% increase in applications, thanks to several changes that made the application and enrollment process more accessible. UC Riverside also had a robust 46% increase in admissions of California students. However, the story is different at the most competitive campuses: Berkeley, UCLA, San Diego, Irvine, and Santa Barbara. These campuses saw a slight decline in admissions of in-state first-year students. System-wide, UC admitted 149,368 first-year students from a pool of 205,348 applicants, increasing the overall admission rate to 73% from 66% last year. But not all of these offers are expected to be accepted. Offers to domestic non-residents rose by 9%, while international offers grew by 17%, despite lower anticipated enrollment from these groups. Among the California admits, 41.8% reported low family incomes, up from 40.6% last year, while the proportion of first-generation college students dipped slightly to 42.4%. The actual number rose by more than 2,300. Admissions officials credit the increase to the university's adherence to the California Master Plan for Higher Education. This plan guarantees admission to a UC campus for students in the top 9% of their high school class or statewide, regardless of standardized test scores. UC Berkeley, one of the most competitive campuses, admitted approximately 14,500 first-year students, 787 more than in 2024, from a record 126,798 applicants. The campus also admitted more than 5,600 transfer students. Among freshman admits, 68% come from California, and 1 in 4 identify as first-generation students. At Berkeley, we seek to find the most exceptional students wherever they are in the state, country, or world, and it's especially rewarding when we can offer admission to more of these incredible students, said Olufemi Ogundele, Berkeley's Associate Vice Chancellor and Dean of Enrollment. UC Davis admitted 55,739 undergraduate students for fall 2025, an 8.6% increase over the previous year. The total includes a record 45,963 first-year admissions, up 10.4%, and 9,776 transfer admissions, a slight increase from 2024. Of those admitted, 34,088 are California residents, representing 61.1% of the admitted class. These gains in admissions support UC's broader 2030 plan, which aims to gradually expand capacity for California undergraduates over the next 5 years. And this is the part most people miss. While the overall numbers look impressive, the distribution of admissions across campuses raises important questions. Why are the most selective campuses, and how will this trend affect the diversity and accessibility of higher education in California? These are the kinds of questions that spark heated debates and differing opinions. So, what do you think? Do you agree with the current admission strategies, or do you see room for improvement? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's discuss. UC admits record number of students for 2025. What you need to know. The University of California has made headlines by admitting an unprecedented number of students, totaling 100,947 new first-year students from California for the upcoming academic year. This marks an impressive increase of over 7% compared to the previous year. Additionally, the university welcomed 22,230 international students, despite the challenges posed by the Trump administration, which has implemented stricter regulations that complicate the process for these students to attend. UC President Michael Drake, who is set to step down at the end of July to focus on research and teaching, remarked, "We continue to experience significant growth, a clear indication that California, according to preliminary data released on Monday, the esteemed university system accepted nearly 73% of all applicants. Notably, the number of international students admitted increased by 17%, a group that typically pays full tuition, which is crucial for the university's financial health. These increases in admissions occur against the backdrop of the Trump administration's stringent immigration policies, which have included tougher visa screening processes, a travel ban, and numerous student visa revocations. Such measures have raised alarms about a potential decline in international student enrollment across U.S. universities. Furthermore, the University of California is grappling with financial challenges stemming from cuts to federal research funding and proposed reductions in the state budget. In April, a lawsuit was filed by the California Attorney General, along with 15 other states, against the National Institutes of Health, claiming that NIH has halted $37 million in research funding to UC. In response to these financial threats, UC announced a system-wide hiring freeze in March. Earlier this spring, UC officials informed state lawmakers that if the state proceeded with an 8% budget cut, as initially proposed by Governor Gavin Newsom, the university would have to reduce the number of new California students it could enroll. Fortunately, the governor later revised this cut to 3% in his May budget update. In addition to the rise in international student admissions, UC also saw a 9% increase in applicants from outside California. This change coincided with a significant hike in non-resident tuition fees, which increased by over $3,400 last year. The university has indicated that financial aid for students from other states is extremely limited, and international students generally do not qualify for student loans and have access to very few scholarships. Overall, UC admitted a total of 180,382 students for the fall of 2025, representing a remarkable 32% increase from the previous year. This figure includes both transfer students and first-time college attendees. At UC Berkeley, which has a competitive acceptance rate of approximately 13%, the university admitted just over 20,000 students, a staggering increase of more than 47% from last year's 13,639. Among the first-year students admitted, about 10% were international students, with the total number of international first-year admits rising from 735 last year to 1,463 this year. In a statement, UC Berkeley expressed satisfaction with the increased admissions, stating, "We're pleased that we were able to offer admission to more exceptional students this year, both domestic and international, while maintaining our high academic standards." The university noted that interest from students worldwide in joining Berkeley's unique academic community remains strong, and they look forward to welcoming a talented incoming class. UC Santa Cruz also reported a significant increase. admitting nearly 57,100 students for fall 2025, which translates to a 73% acceptance rate and about 10,000 more students than the previous year. Similar to Berkeley, around 10% of the first-year admitted students were international, with 4,836 students offered admission, slightly down from last year's 5,249. While UC Santa Cruz did not provide immediate comments, the university acknowledged that the acceptance rate for non-California and international students tends to be lower than that of California residents. For instance, only about 26% of UC Berkeley's accepted international students chose to enroll for the fall 2024 semester, while UC Santa Cruz saw just over 4% of its accepted international students enroll. Across the UC system, the overall enrollment rate for accepted international students was slightly above 21%. The new data reveals that UC admitted approximately 77% of all first-year applicants from California for the fall 2025 semester, with a notable increase in the number of admitted students from lower-income families, transfers from California community colleges, and first-generation college students. About 42% of accepted first-year California students are classified as first-generation college students, including 32% at UC Berkeley and 30% at UC Santa Cruz. Despite the Trump administration's efforts to limit diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, and its push for schools to eliminate any form of racial preferencing in admissions or hiring, the data indicates a rise in the number of admitted students from all racial backgrounds, including Black, Latino, Native American, Pacific Islander, white, and those categorized as unknown. This situation raises important questions. How do you feel about the increasing number of international students in U.S. universities? Do you think the financial pressures faced by institutions like UC will impact the quality of education? Share your thoughts in the comments. UC Davis hits record-high admissions for first-year students in fall 2025. The University of California, Davis has made a historic announcement. For the fall 2025 semester, they've extended undergraduate admission offers to a whopping 8.6% more applicants than the previous year. This surge is particularly striking for first-year students, with a record-breaking 10.4% increase in offers. In total, 45,963 hopeful freshmen and 9,776 transfer students received the good news, bringing the grand total to 55,739. Of these, 34,088 are proud Californians, marking a 1.7% rise from the previous year. But here's where it gets controversial. UC Davis received a staggering 120,131 applications this year, accepting just 46.3% of them. That's a highly selective process that leaves many applicants wondering about their future. Despite this, the university expects to welcome around 9,750 to 9,800 new undergraduates this fall. And this is the part most people miss. UC Davis has a diverse and far-reaching applicant pool. The campus admitted students from all 57 California counties, 50 U.S. states, the District of Columbia, 5 U.S. territories, and an impressive 104 countries. California residents make up 61.1% of the total admitted students, but they're not the only ones. International students and those from other U.S. states also received offers, with 13,225 international and 8,426 out-of-state applicants accepted. But what about the demographics? Among California first-year students, 4.0% are African American, 28.1% are Hispanic Latino, and 41.5% are Asian American. The numbers for community college transfer applicants show a similar trend. This diversity extends to socioeconomic backgrounds as well. 34.6% of admitted California first-year students are first-generation college students, and 34.2% come from low-income families. These numbers are even higher among California community college transfer admits. So, what does this all mean for UC Davis? With a total enrollment expected to reach 40,900, including undergraduate, graduate, professional students, and interns, the university is poised for growth. But how will this influx of new students affect the campus community? And what does this say about the future of higher education in California? As we celebrate these historic admissions numbers, let's also consider the implications. Is UC Davis doing enough to ensure equal opportunities for all applicants? And what about the future of college admissions in the U.S.? Join the conversation and share your thoughts below.